Okay, so imagine this. You wake up, there's no school, no work, no phone, no Netflix, no job, nothing you have to do. What would you even do all day? Now, here's the crazy part. For most of human history, that was just life. No Monday mornings, no boss, no alarm clock. And guess what? Ancient humans were not just sitting around being bored. They were actually busier than most of us are today. And the way they spent their days will genuinely surprise you. So let's go back, way, way back, like 50,000 years ago back. No cities, no farms, no money, just humans, the wild, and each other. What did they actually do all day?
The first thing you have to understand is this. Ancient humans didn't have jobs, but they had one very important job: staying alive. And that sounds simple, but trust me, it was a full-time operation. Every single morning, the first question wasn't what's for breakfast, it was how do I get breakfast? A group of people, usually around 20 to 50, would split up. Some would go hunting. And when I say hunting, I don't mean clicking a button on an app. I mean tracking an animal for hours through the forest, reading footprints, smelling the air, moving in silence. It was like a real-life video game with no respawns. One wrong move and dinner runs away. Or worse, dinner turns around and chases you. Now, while the hunters were out, the others weren't just chilling by the fire. The women, and this is something history books often skip, were doing something that actually fed the group more consistently than hunting.
They were gathering fruits, roots, nuts, berries, leaves, insects. And you might think, okay, how hard is that? But think about it. You had to know every plant. Which ones were food, which ones were poison, which ones were medicine. One wrong berry and you're done. That knowledge took years to learn and was passed down like treasure. So already, by midday, these ancient humans had been walking for miles, thinking hard, working as a team, and using skills that, honestly, most of us could never pull off. But here's what I think is the most interesting part. What did they do when the food was handled? They talked. They laughed. They played. Seriously, researchers who study modern hunter-gatherer tribes, groups of people who still live this ancient way, found that they actually had a lot of free time. Like 4 to 6 hours a day of just hanging out. They'd sit around fires and tell stories, really vivid, dramatic stories about the hunt, about the stars, about where the world came from. Those stories, that was their history book, their YouTube, their school, all in one. And think about this, those cave paintings we find, those weren't random doodles. Someone sat down, mixed up paints from crushed rocks and animal fat, and drew something meaningful on a cave wall. That's art. That's creativity. That's a human saying, I was here. This mattered to me. That gives me chills every time I think about it. Now, let me ask you something, and actually think about this. Do you think ancient humans were happy? Because we often assume that without phones and comfort and Netflix, life must have been miserable. But here's the wild thing. A lot of scientists actually think they might have been more content than we are today. Less stress about money, less comparison to other people, strong, tight-knit communities where everyone looked out for each other, deep connection to nature, and a very clear purpose every single day. Keep your people fed, keep your people safe, keep your people together. Obviously, life was hard. People got sick, animals were dangerous, winter was brutal. There was no hospital, no medicine aisle, no heated blanket. So I'm not saying it was paradise. But what's fascinating is that the human brain, your brain, was literally built in that world. Built for movement, for social connection, for storytelling, for problem solving. And some scientists think that's actually why so many people today feel a little lost. Because we're living in a world our brains weren't fully designed for. We're sitting still for 8 hours, staring at screens, mostly alone, even in crowds. And our ancient brain is quietly saying, this doesn't feel right. So here's something wild to think about before you go. The next time you take a walk outside, or sit around with friends and just talk and laugh for hours, or get completely lost in making something creative, drawing, cooking, building, writing, you're not wasting time. You're actually doing exactly what humans were designed to do for thousands of years. That is the original human experience. And honestly, that's kind of beautiful. If this made you think about life differently, smash that like button right now because it genuinely helps this video reach more people. And hey, drop a comment down below. Tell me, if you had to live 1 week as an ancient human,
What do you think would be the hardest part for you? I read every single comment, and I'd love to know what you think. If you're new here, subscribe, because we do videos like this every week, where we take big, fascinating questions about history and life and break them all the way down. And share this with one friend who loves random, interesting facts. One friend. That's all I'm asking. I'll see you in the next one.